say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Has to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
Well, Combs is separated from the general population, right? He's with, or was with Sam Bankman-Fried at least. And the irony there is that's someone who was granted bail, tried to tamper with witnesses, so the judge revoked his bail. So that just goes to show how these federal judges feel about witness tampering before trial.
Let's start with Diddy, because this is absolutely wild. You'd think being behind bars would stop him from pulling strings, right? Wrong. According to these shocking court filings, Diddy's been playing puppet master from his jail cell. The prosecutors are claiming, and this is absolutely insane, that he's been in constant communication with people outside the detention center, using all sorts of sneaky, unauthorized ways to reach potential witnesses and victims. And get this, he's allegedly been using other inmates' phone accounts to make calls. Can you believe the nerve? He's supposedly using these super sneaky three-way calling tricks to get around the restrictions on who he's allowed to contact. But wait, it gets even juicier. These calls are apparently filled with this coded language, making it nearly impossible for authorities to figure out what he's really saying.
So yesterday, Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily so, I guess, right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind bars.
Now you're probably wondering what he's saying in these mysterious calls, right? Well, according to prosecutors, and this is absolutely shocking, Diddy's been instructing his family members and associates to dig up dirt on witnesses, intimidate them, and, are you sitting down? Even offer them money to keep quiet. During a routine jail cell sweep, they supposedly found this note that detailed his strategies for finding compromising information on people involved in the case. Like, can we just process this for a second? This man is literally sitting in a detention center, but he's acting like he's still running the show from his throne. The way he's using these subtle threats wrapped in coded language is giving me chills. Like, in one intercepted phone call, they caught Diddy talking about keeping the worms away from the house and reminding someone that he kept a sample just in case. I mean, hello? We all know what that means. He's holding on to some seriously juicy dirt as leverage. It's literally straight out of a mob movie, except this is happening in real life. And don't even get me started on his cryptic references to weathering a storm and needing vitamins to stay strong. If this sounds like something out of a spy thriller, that's because it basically is. But here's where it gets even messier. Diddy's own legal team is literally losing their minds over his behavior. During his latest bail hearing, his lawyers were practically pulling their hair out because he's making their job impossible. Despite their begging him to stay quiet and keep a low profile, Diddy's gone completely rogue. Like, can we talk about that social media video he posted with his children? Obviously trying to soften his image and sway potential jurors. The prosecutors jumped on that faster than a celebrity jumping on a TikTok trend, calling it exactly what it was, a blatant attempt to manipulate public perception. I mean, sure, it looked heartwarming on the surface, but the timing, super suspicious.
No, I'm not surprised by the ruling because, as she cited in her order, there are very serious allegations about the danger that he potentially poses to other witnesses and the public at large. There are allegations that he has, been violent with others. He's also attempted to allegedly intimidate other witnesses and still contact witnesses while incarcerated.
Now, let's talk about these poor witnesses and victims caught in Diddy's web, because this is where it gets really dark. The accusations paint this absolutely terrifying picture of a man who'll do literally anything to keep people quiet. The prosecutors have pointed out so many instances where witnesses were contacted and pressured, either directly or through other people, to keep their mouths shut or change their stories to help him. Some were allegedly offered straight-up cash to stay quiet, while others got these super scary veiled threats. But here's the most chilling part. They found court documents where Diddy supposedly told his people to make certain witnesses disappear from the equation. Like, what? No wonder the court keeps saying nope to his bail requests. They're literally calling him a flight risk and a danger to the whole trial.
At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid, Diddy's jail cell, just yesterday. What were the contents of those raids?
Well, apparently, according to the defense, their legal documents, the government's saying no. On the contrary, they're just some handwritten notes and a calendar.
But hold on to your seats, because this drama gets even messier when we bring Jay Z into the picture. While Diddy's orchestrating his defense from behind bars, Jay Z's name is being dragged through the same scandalous mud. This anonymous woman just filed this absolutely explosive civil lawsuit, and the accusations against Jay Z are simply shocking. She's claiming that he and Diddy were involved in this horrifying incident over 20 years ago. Now Jay Z has been adamantly denying everything, but his response? Oh honey, it's only made things worse. He actually had the audacity to tell the accuser to file criminal charges instead of a civil suit. Can you believe it? People are absolutely furious, saying he's just trying to deflect and discredit the victim.
This morning, rap mogul Jay Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
And let's talk about the timing of all this, because it is everything. Jay Z getting added to this lawsuit didn't just come out of nowhere. People have been whispering about his connection to Diddy's legal troubles for months. Some are saying these two moguls, who used to act like friendly rivals, might actually be working together on some kind of mutual defense strategy. Like, is Jay Z secretly helping Diddy control the narrative, or is he desperately trying to distance himself from this whole mess? Either way, his pristine public image is getting seriously tarnished.
A blistering statement. Jay Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?"
What's really blowing my mind is how these two men, one locked up and one walking free, seem to be playing the same game. They're both allegedly using their power and influence to manipulate everyone around them. For Diddy, it's all about maintaining control from inside those jail walls, using every trick imaginable to bend the system to his will. Meanwhile, Jay Z's out here playing chess with public opinion, where literally every move he makes is being analyzed under a microscope. But let's talk about the real victims here, because my heart is absolutely breaking for these witnesses and accusers. Can you imagine the sheer bravery it takes to stand up against not one but two of the most powerful figures in entertainment, knowing full well the kind of backlash and scrutiny you're going to face? And yet, despite all the alleged pressure tactics, some brave souls are still choosing to speak out. Their courage in the face of such overwhelming odds just shows the incredible strength of the human spirit, even as it exposes this super dark side of celebrity culture. Everyone's wondering the same thing. Will we finally get to the truth? Or will these two moguls' influence keep justice from being served? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain. This story is far from over. As these court battles keep raging on, the whole world is watching to see if Diddy and Jay Z can somehow escape the consequences of their alleged actions, or if this is finally the beginning of the end of their reign at the top of the entertainment world. While Diddy's legal team is desperately trying to rein him in and Jay Z's name keeps getting dragged deeper into this mess, we're all watching what could be the biggest showdown in music industry history. But to really understand how deep this rabbit hole goes, we need to look at how these two titans rose to power, their empire building, the choices they made, and all those dark secrets that were apparently lurking beneath the surface this whole time. The rise of Diddy and Jay Z is honestly like something out of a movie. Two ambitious young men from New York, both desperate to escape their humble beginnings and make their mark on the world. Diddy with his larger-than-life personality and incredible promotional skills, Jay Z with his razor-sharp wit and unmatched lyrical abilities. They seem destined to revolutionize the music industry. But their dazzling success story has this dark shadow hanging over it, one that keeps growing darker with every new revelation about their alleged activities. Let's rewind to where it all began, back when these powerhouses were just starting to make waves. Diddy, or Sean Combs as he was known then, was turning heads as this super ambitious intern at Uptown Records. Even back then, people who worked with him say he was absolutely relentless. He wasn't just ambitious, he was calculating, always planning his next move like a chess master. When he launched Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993, everyone knew he wasn't just playing the game, he was completely rewriting the rulebook. Meanwhile, Jay Z, born Sean Carter, was crafting his art as this incredible street poet turned rapper. Unlike Diddy's explosive entrance, Jay-Z's rise was more calculated, more methodical. He didn't burst onto the scene with flashy parties or big endorsements. Instead, he built his empire brick by brick. When he dropped Reasonable Doubt in 1996 under his own label, Rockefeller Records, it wasn't just an album, it was a statement. It showed everyone that this man had both the lyrical genius and the business smarts to go all the way. Oh my goodness, their paths finally crossed in the late 90s, and the entertainment world was never the same. By then, Diddy was already this huge mogul, with Bad Boy absolutely dominating the charts thanks to legendary artists like the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and 112. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was emerging as this unstoppable force, not just as a rapper, but as this incredibly savvy businessman. Their friendship, built on mutual respect and this shared understanding of the hustle, seemed perfect on the surface. But honey, let me tell you about the complications. Their relationship was always labeled as this friendly rivalry, but behind the scenes, the tension was real. Both men were absolutely desperate to be crowned the King of New York, the ultimate symbol of hip-hop success. Sure, they collaborated and played nice in public, but the whispers never stopped. Some people swear Diddy was secretly seething over Jay-Z's growing influence, especially when Rockefeller started challenging Bad Boy's dominance. Others claim Jay-Z saw Diddy as more of a showman than a true artist, someone who relied on flash and spectacle instead of real substance. Despite all the rumors, they kept up this united front, showing up together at industry events and even making music together. But everything changed in 1999, and I mean everything. Both men found themselves caught up in separate legal dramas that shook their world. Diddy got arrested after this nightclub incident, while Jay-Z faced his own charges after some drama with a record executive. Even though these incidents weren't connected, they marked this huge turning point for both men. Suddenly, their carefully crafted images were hanging by a thread. For Diddy, the fallout was immediate. Even though he was eventually acquitted, his reputation took a massive hit. People started questioning everything about Bad Boy's culture of excess and recklessness. Jay-Z? He somehow managed to slide through relatively unscathed, thanks to his amazing legal team and his talent for spinning narratives. But 1999 was like this massive wake-up call for both of them, a reminder that the same system that made them stars could tear them down in a heartbeat. The accusations have shed a whole new light on the dynamic between these two powerhouses. While they've always been portrayed as equals, their relationship is so much more complicated than anyone realized. Inside sources are spilling that Diddy has apparently been harboring this deep resentment over Jay-Z's ability to stay squeaky clean while his own reputation keeps getting dragged through the mud. Others are saying Jay-Z has been deliberately distancing himself from Diddy lately, terrified of being associated with all these scandals. The impact Diddy and Jay-Z have had on the music industry is absolutely undeniable. There's no question about that. Their rise to the top shows just how far talent, ambition, and drive can take you. But honey, it's also this shocking cautionary tale about the price of success and the absolutely wild lengths some people will go to stay on top. As all these allegations keep coming out, everyone's asking the same question. How much of their success came from genuine talent and hard work, and how much came from manipulation and exploitation? Their story isn't just about fame and fortune anymore. It's about power, control, and the seriously dark underbelly of the music industry. While their die-hard fans might keep celebrating their achievements, you can't ignore all these voices speaking out against them. It's like this huge reminder that even the most untouchable figures can be brought down. The big question now is, how will they weather this storm? Will they somehow come out unscathed? Or is this the moment that completely rewrites their legacy? Only time will tell, and as the world watches, one thing is crystal clear. The story of Diddy and Jay Z is far from over. So what do you think? Are Diddy and Jay Z truly untouchable? Or are we watching the beginning of the end of their reign? How far will they go to keep their power and influence? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned for more celebrity gossip and insider details. Goodbye for now.